Hey everyone, John here, and today I've got what I'm pretty sure is a unique pedal. This is my ship in a bottle, and it's a fuzz made with all glass components. It's got these OC140 germanium transistors in black glass. These capacitors that somebody posted about on BYOC, they're actually surface-mounted chips just encased in glass. They really only came in a couple values, so I had to design something that was pretty limited in terms of capacitor values. A couple germanium diodes, only one's actually in the audio path, and it's doing this sort of weird feedback thing that I've never seen before between the two transistors. These really rare glass resistors were particularly hard to find, but someone on the forums, Government Lackey, hooked me up with a whole bunch of them, enough to make a couple pedals actually. But since since for this project I wanted to use all glass components, I was pretty limited in the range of components I could use, so I had to design something new. And it's not exactly revolutionary or anything, it's just a couple transistors cascaded into each other. But except for that germanium diode thing that I've never really seen before, and the tone control is also a little different. It cuts bass and treble as it's turned counterclockwise, and it's full when it's all the way up. So I'm just going to leave that at full for now. Using the Don Quixote caster, and I've got the fuzz at about 2 o'clock, which is kind of where I like it with this, but I'll go through some of the higher gain settings later. And also it cleans up pretty quickly with the guitar volume, so I'll be playing with the guitar volume a little bit as I'm going through. And volume's at unity. I'm on the lead channel with my amp as usual, with a relatively flat EQ and nice clean sound. Here is the bypass. And here is the ship in a bottle. And one thing about this, I was going to call it a glass cannon. I mean, it's really only got a couple good settings with any given guitar. I'll just roll the fuzz all the way up now and show the guitar knob cleanup. This is about halfway on the guitar's volume. So a little bit crunchy. A lot more glassy. It gets a lot brighter as it's turned, as the guitar volume is down. This is about 7 or 8 on the guitar volume. You still play full chords there. This is about 9, not quite all the way up, so. Maybe getting to the point where I wouldn't play too many thirds, but not too bad. And all the way up, fully saturated. And I'll just play a big A chord here to show the decay. it's got a little bit of compression. You hit it and it sags a little bit. Doesn't, but that diode feedback is doing something that keeps it from getting too destroyed. A little bit more obvious when I'm doing like palm mutes or something for a kind of broken sound. Where it's got this like sort of weird thing where you do palm mutes and it doesn't quite get to the next note right away. I'm gonna back the tone off a little bit. You're mostly gonna hear a treble change. So yeah, not the best taper I could have picked. Probably would have gone with an audio taper if I'd been thinking about it a little harder. But I do kind of like the tone at about 9 o'clock with the fuzz backed off and the guitar's volume backed off just a hair. I think this has a little bit more of a mid-range push. And I haven't really gone through any of the lower fuzz settings. Mostly the fuzz is just there to clean up a much more high output guitar than a Strat. And actually, I don't think I made the minimum value in this build large enough because turned all the way down, there's almost no guitar signal, but I did correct that in the schematic. I hope you enjoyed at least a few of the sounds I got out of this thing. If you're interested, I'm going to post the schematic and layout on the forums as usual. The layout's in my perf board library along with the schematic, of course. I mean, like I said, this build I was pretty limited in the values I could use, so I did make some suggestions. But if anybody has some ideas for other ways to improve it, I'd like to hear them because I mean, as usual, I'm interested in improving something. Even if I'm not totally convinced I'd build this again. I mean, it's probably not the best sounding thing I've ever made, but I did warm up to it a little bit after I played with it a little bit and found a few settings I like. I still like the tone most of the way up and the fuzz backed off, but yeah, so thanks for watching.